Norman is a household name in Belgian and international pigeon racing. For almost 120 years, four generations have raced at the greatest level. Grandfather Cyril Norman, a flax maker from the village of Belgium, started it all. He began raising pigeons in 1902 and died in 1967. He was also a successful fancier. He already won the second national out of Libourne in his early years. Grandfather Cyril purchased a Lang in 1929 for 6,000 Belgian francs, which was the price for two residences in the early 1930s. The Lang was a fantastic racer and breeder. He won the first prize 3 times in Angoulême. Son Norbert Norman, who was also a flax producer, took to the skies under his father's wings in 1945 and settled in Oosterbeek, some 10 kilometers from Belgium. In addition, Norbert maintained pigeons around his new home. Norbert raced in Oosterbeek until 1978, with great success. While they raced at Oosterbeek, the family moved into their new home, in Maspalomas, on Natienlaan 154 in Knokke Heist. The first youngsters flew around Maspalomas, in 1966, and they were raced under the moniker Desmet, Lippens. The majority of the youngsters were born in the old loft and were relocated to their new lofts. The invincible birds of the Catrice brothers, Moore, and a hen from Van Hees, Atomic Line, Wervik, were the most important fundamental birds at the time. Their first appearance in Barcelona was in 1970. They stunned the world by winning the 1970 First International in Barcelona. The most astonishing aspect of this victory is that it was foretold by his father. The Barcelona winner is the sole national winner sold by Norman's father and son. It was also the most expensive bird ever sold at the time. In 1971, Father Norbert bet André Boeschert 250,000 Belgian francs, which was a large sum at the time, on winning one of the top 100 nationals in Barcelona. Norbert accepted it and even placed 2 birds in the top 100, the 91st and 96th. Norbert and Philip won their second national race the same year, 1971. They won the first national Limoges in Oosterbeek by 20 meters per minute. They replicated this feat in 1977, winning the first, second, and third national Limoges, as well as 6 birds in the first 10 nationals. From 1973 to 1989, they also won 10 first-place finishes. Father Norbert died in October 1997, having achieved great success with his business, family, and his favorite passion, racing and breeding pigeons. The pigeons were not the most important thing to Philip after Norbert died. He is the director of a large printing firm, Die Cour, which specializes in schoolbooks, and he oversees a staff of 200 people. He is also the governor of the Belgische Verstandhouding, the largest institute in charge of organizing national races. After Norbert died, Gilbert van Peerages, who has managed the loft since 1984, continued to race the birds. 2003, the year of the fowl pest, was a particularly bad year. 4 of their top widowcocks did not return from a series of races. A fresh start. The line of the Whippy is the first line on the actual breeding loft. The Whippy is a bird out of 2 Roger van Quickenborn birds that was both a great racer and a great breeder. He won first of 443 pigeons at Montlucan, 65th of 9,989 in Cahors, and 1st provincial and 8th national in Montauban. The Zorro line is another true line. Zorro was the winner of 11th of 16,854 national Limoges and 10th of 6,491 pigeons. International Dax, 14th of 11,090 national Cahors pigeons, and 7th of 4,189 provincial Limoges. He is currently one of the greatest breeders. The last important line in the breeding loft is the Nicolas line. Nicolas is a son of the first national Narbonne against 5,848 competitors in 1991. His mother is a direct daughter of the world-famous breeder, the Wittenbeck, coupled on the first national Argentin in 1989 from Gabi Vandeneville, Dentergem. These 3 lines are the basic lines on the actual breeding loft. The lines are crossed under each other, with a lot of success in the last few years. A very important result of this strategy is when they decided to bring some new breeding birds into the loft, they had a higher chance of succeeding. Philip Norman had said that Gabby Vandenabele had an exchange of both of their best pigeons during this time. De Gouden Vleugel, one of the most coveted trophies in pigeon racing. The Golden Wings. Norman also won the race for the first nominated pigeon from Barcelona at Westkapelle. In addition, the Euro Diamond was added to the Normans' list of accomplishments. The only loft to have won the Euro Diamond as well as the Gouden Vleugel. It is incomprehensible. There is probably only one loft in Belgian pigeon sport with such a long enchanted history, but it is almost a fairy tale. In 2008, Philip Norman and the late Norbert, because Philip wants his father to be mentioned always, because Philip has an enormous respect for his father, won the Sun City $1 million race, possibly the biggest and most magnificent thing a fancier can experience. This is the first time a Belgian has won the one loft race. The phone hasn't stopped ringing since Saturday, following the race. National television, VTM, and national newspapers, Laatste Nieuwsblad, etc., paid visits. The final race in the $1 million race was extremely difficult, with the first pigeon reaching a velocity of only 1,060 meters per minute, genuine tough pigeon weather. The fact that only 300 birds returned home on the first day says it all. More than 25 countries participated, and everyone brought their best pigeons. My excellent buddy Joss Stone warned me I'd never win a race like this, and my friend and loft caretaker Gilbert van Peerages was very opposed to our participation. And yet we did it, adds the pleased Philip Norman. Even the KBDB chairman, Felicien Vermeulen, called me to say how happy he was to be able to experience this during his final months as chairman of the KBDB. The Zorro dynasty is filled with elegance. The Zorro is a great breeder who consistently produces exceptional progeny in the first and subsequent generations. We noticed that the Norman N and F colony, which is 80% Zorro line, is at the top. With the Zorro dynasty as a foundation, which is now being continued in breeding with super pigeons like as the Contador, Abraham, and others. The Mas Palomas loft has been a success story for many years.